My mother-in-law demanded to plan my wedding, so I let her spend $25,000 before revealing I'd eloped. Valencia Hawthorne treated wedding planning like a military operation. The moment Garrett slipped the ring on my finger, she appeared with color-coded binders and a spreadsheet that could have run NASA. The Hawthorne family has standards, she declared, flipping through venue photos like a general reviewing battle plans. This wedding will be talked about for decades. I suggested something small and intimate. She looked at me like I'd suggested we get married in a McDonald's bathroom. Nonsense. We're booking the Grandview Mansion, spring wedding, 500 guests minimum. I have a reputation to maintain. The planning consumed her entirely. She scheduled appointments without consulting me, booked vendors based on price tags rather than preference, and dismissed every suggestion I made with a patronizing smile. You're so young, sweetie. You don't understand what makes a wedding elegant. The budget exploded immediately. Hand-engraved invitations on Italian paper, $3,200. Crystal chandeliers for the reception, $4,800. A dress she selected without my input, $5,500. Each expense came with lectures about family legacy and social expectations. This is an investment in your future standing in society, she'd explain while writing another enormous check. Meanwhile, Garrett and I grew increasingly frustrated watching her orchestrate what felt more like a corporate merger than a celebration of love. We wanted something personal, not a performance. 4 months into her planning obsession, while she was booking a $7,000 ice sculpture shaped like swans, Garrett and I made a spontaneous decision. We drove to the courthouse on a Thursday afternoon with my sister and his best friend as witnesses. We exchanged simple bands and promised forever, while Valencia was probably arguing with florists about centerpiece height requirements. I let her continue planning for 8 more weeks. The final total reached exactly $25,000. She'd booked everything from a celebrity chef to bathroom attendants to a horse-drawn carriage for my grand entrance. 3 days before her elaborate production, I invited both families for what I called a final wedding briefing. Valencia arrived with laminated schedules, emergency protocols, and detailed instructions for every family member's role in her masterpiece. Before we review tomorrow's timeline, I announced, placing my phone on the dining table, I have something important to share with everyone. I displayed our marriage certificate, dated 10 weeks earlier. The silence stretched for what felt like hours. Valencia stared at the document, her face transforming from confusion to rage to something much more dangerous. You're already married, she whispered, her voice deadly calm. For 2.5 months now, Garrett confirmed, taking my hand protectively. Her carefully maintained composure shattered completely. You manipulative little snake. Do you realize what you've done to me? I realize I got married to the man I love, I replied steadily. Everything else was your choice. She stood slowly, gathering her purse with trembling hands. $25,000, gone, because of your deception. Actually, I said, sliding a thick folder across the table, I documented every expense. Here are copies of all receipts, contracts, and payment confirmations. Valencia opened the folder, scanning vendor agreements and credit card statements with growing horror. This was planned, she hissed. You orchestrated this humiliation deliberately. I orchestrated getting married, I corrected. You orchestrated everything else without asking what we actually wanted. She pulled out her phone with shaking fingers and dialed a number. Detective Rodriguez? This is Valencia Hawthorne. I need to report a major fraud case. $25,000. I couldn't fit what happens next in this short video. Watch the rest down below.